If you are simply looking for how many shares you need to retire off NIO stock by 2030, I posted some chapters down below so you can skip the math portion of this intro. But if you're still watching this, then let's jump in and see how the actual math breaks down. So first off, you can see that the US average family household spends around $5,000, and this is in US currency, per month, okay? And then whenever you look at that yearly, obviously $60,000 per year just on normal living expenses. Now, we also have to factor in inflation in this matter, which usually is at a benchmark of 2%, but because of, recent history and the increased amount of inflation, I've benchmarked it out at 3% per year between now and 2030. So that number is actually going to be $78,000 per year after that 3% benchmark of inflation. But now we have to know how long we're actually going to be retired. The average retirement age in the US is 18 years of length, but hopefully assuming that we are trying to do a strategy like this of investing in one very specific tech stock, that hopefully we get to retirement a lot earlier. And by 2030, I've actually anticipated that we are going to go a little bit more conservative and do a timeline of 25 years of retirement. So knowing that we need $78,000 per year over 25 years, that's $1.95 million. But we're only really going to need $900,000 of that to start by 2030. So starting with $900,000, we know that we can actually invest it for 25 years in something a lot safer than a single stock, like the S&P 500, where we can assume that we're going to be making an 8% adjusted rate of return. This means that if we scroll down, you can see that even though we're taking out $78,000 every single year, the rate of return that we're getting actually allows us to keep the amount of money that we have all the way through retirement, leaving us still with $153,000. Okay, but that's it for the math. Let's actually look at how many shares we might need if we're buying NIO stock. I've broken it down into 4 separate categories: the low side, a medium estimate, a high estimate, and then a pure hope estimate if everything possibly could go right. Oh, and just one more thing. As of the time of recording this video, the stock was $22 a share and the market cap was around $40 billion. So these estimates are going off of that appreciation from whenever the stock was done today. Okay, so what we can see from our low estimate is that by 2030, we can expect that our valuation will hit around $140 billion. This is from compounding annually of around 15%. This should leave us with a stock price of $77.39 if that growth continues to keep up over the next 8 or 9 years. I'll leave all the links from the analysts that you can see right there down in the description down below. And while you're down there, just hit the like button as well. But what you guys are all looking for, how many shares are you going to need to actually retire off NIO stock if it only gets to $77 by 2030? Now, drum roll please. As we switch over, you can see that we're still going to need around $255,000 because you're going to need 11,629 shares worth of NIO stock today, buying it at $22 a share. Okay, now jumping into our medium estimate, actually multiple sources actually said the exact same market cap, which is actually kind of funny. So whenever we do look at it, you see a couple estimates here from different analysts, but what you can still see is that it's a compounded annual growth rate of 19.6% compounded annual growth rate. This brings us to a valuation of $200 billion. That leaves us with an ending price roughly around $110.15. And you can see how the growth actually, pans out over those last 8 or 9 years. But obviously, how many shares are we actually going to need? Well, you're going to need 8,171 shares or $179,000 if you're buying it at $22 a share. Okay, that should actually get you to the $900,000 target that we're talking about to retire by 2030. So a lot easier to stomach than $255,000, but still pretty high. As we start to get deeper down the line, it becomes less and less realistic from how it's actually going to happen because the company needs to perform that much better, but it's not out of the realm of possibility if the stock does truly do everything that they want to do. But that being said, in our high category, you see a 26% compounded annual growth rate or a $320 billion valuation, leaving us with a stock price of $176.10 per share. Remember that whenever you're looking at these yearly compounded annual growth rates, they're very even, right? It's 26% every single year, but the truth is that the way that this stock would probably perform is that it might do a lot better than 26% in the first couple of years, and then the lower the years you go, the slowly that, the growth actually starts to slow down, but it's the average of the 26% yearly, which is how we actually can average it out to the $176.10 per share. But by now, you obviously know the drill. How many shares are we actually going to need? And that's 5,111 shares or $112,000. I want to preface this next section by saying that it is a pure hope category, okay? This is everything that goes right and more. We get into new business areas, expand all over Europe and North America, and become a true player in this EV world. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it is improbable, and that's why you should know that it does come with a bit of caution. However, companies like Tesla have achieved, even better than this, which does, sort of look at, is this EV sort of world going to happen with another, manufacturer like NIO? But anyway, enough caution. Let's actually just jump in and look at the estimate. With a stunning 32% compounded annual growth rate, we can see a valuation of $485 billion by 2030. This leaves us with a share price of $267.66. Now, obviously, I know what you guys want next, and if you've seen this far into the video, make sure you give this video a like and consider subscribing down below because it really does help out the channel. But without further ado, you can see that it's only going to take 3,362 shares of NIO, or roughly $74,000 total, in order to retire off this stock by 2030 if everything goes right. The reason why I love talking about videos like this is because now is the best time to accumulate shares, is whenever the price is actually low. If you want more information on that, make sure you check out this video on the 8 reasons why you should invest in a stock during a recession. But until next time, guys, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this.